everyone, it's Miss Kraft, your art teacher. Mrs. Fitzpatrick has asked me to help out on Monday and Tuesday to help teach second grade. This is wonderful. I've never taught second grade. Well, guess what? Mrs. Fitzpatrick has left me a list of things that we need to do. So for starters, she said to have everybody get out their brown journals. So we're going to open up our books, and the first thing that we're going to do is find the first empty page, and then we're going to write Monday, comma, March 22nd, comma, 2021. And then we get to write 2 to 3 sentences at least about spring break. So even if you didn't do anything, I'm sure you did some fun stuff. I'm sure you got to watch some shows or play outside. So I don't know what you got to do, but go ahead and write 2 to 3 sentences at least about your spring break. We'll take about 8 to 10 minutes right now to do that in our journals. I can't wait to hear what you wrote. The next thing Mrs. Fitzpatrick wanted us to do was to get some work done on our opinion packets. But before we can start talking about our opinions, there is a specific book that Mrs. Fitzpatrick wants us to read. It's called Cats versus Dogs. So this is kind of interesting because I'm going to get to read the story of Cats versus Dogs to you. And while I read you the story, you're going to get to write down some of the facts about cats and dogs. Because eventually, when you write your opinion essay that we're going to do, you're going to need to pick a side. You're going to need to say if you like cats the most or dogs the most. And then you're going to need to support your opinion with some of the facts from the book that we're reading. So, before I start reading the book, I'm going to need you to get a piece of paper, and I want you to draw a line right down the middle of it from top to bottom. And then at the top of the page, on one side of that line, I want you to write the word cats. And on the other side of that line at the top of the page, I want you to write the word dogs. And then, as I read the story, whenever you hear me say a fact about a cat or a dog that might convince you to like one over the other, I want you to write it down. And then we'll stop every now and again in the story and kind of compare notes and see if you were able to catch a lot of those wonderful dog facts just like I was. So, anyway, go ahead and get a piece of paper and prepare for the story. Cats versus Dogs, a Scholastic book. Cats versus Dogs. Dogs and cats are the most popular pets in the world. Some people think dogs are our finest friends. Others believe cats are the perfect pets. Find out which animal has the smoothest moves, the best hearing, and can do the smartest tricks. No matter who your favorite is, one thing is certain, fur will fly in this battle of the pets. Who has the scariest relatives? Dogs and cats may seem like opposites. That's because they have very different family trees. Millions of years ago, a fox-like predator prowled the plains hunting for meat. This animal, called Usain davisi, they have the pronunciation in there, was an early relative of the canines we see today. And so for our pet words, it says canine, a group of meat-eating mammals that includes the domestic dog, wolf, fox, jackal, and coyote. A predator is an animal that hunts other animals for food. And domesticated means the condition of an animal changed from being wild to living closely with humans. And up here we've got a question. It says, what is the only kind of dog you can eat? Ooh, this is an important question and answer. We don't even want to think about that. What's the answer? A hot dog? Why, that's not a question, that's a joke. Ooh, I have a feeling there's going to be more of those. So anyway, so here's some pictures of the wolf, coyote, jackal, and wild dogs. Wolves, coyotes, jackals, and dogs are all related to this ancestor. These animals hunt and live in packs in the wild. All cats, from the mighty tiger to the common house cat, evolved from a small cat-like creature that lived 12 million years ago. This animal was called Felis aticus. Felis atica. Later, the feline family split into two groups. One group evolved into smaller cats like pumas, lynxes, and house cats. The other evolved into big cats like tigers, lions, and leopards. Big cats are the world's most fearsome predators. In a head-to-head battle, a wolf would be no match for a lion or tiger. So, in this weird but true segment, it says big cats like lions, tigers, and jaguars can't purr like small cats do. And for our pet words, these are some of the words that we may not know what they mean. Evolve means to change or develop naturally over long periods of time. And a feline is a group of meat-eating mammals that include the domestic cat, lion, tiger, lynx, and cheetah. So, in this battle, it says the winner is definitely cats. Because obviously, we said in a head-to-head battle, the wolf would be no match for a lion or a tiger. So, if it's a competition, and the title of the book is Cats versus Dogs, the winner in this case is definitely cats. Senses. Whose nose knows best? Dogs and cats can have super sensing powers that have been passed down from their ancestors. Powerful senses have helped them survive. Sniff, sniff, a dog smells the air. It gets a lot more information from a whiff than we do. Dogs have about 220 million scent cells. That's twice as many as cats and 40 times more than humans. So, here's weird but true. Some dog breeds can sniff out mold, insects, drugs, and even cancer. Now that's a knowing nose. So, if we were to talk about the battle of the senses, in this case, the winner is dogs. And for our pet words on these pages, a cell is the basic building block of a living thing. Large plants and animals are made up of trillions of cells. So obviously the dogs have 220 million scent cells. So much more than cats. So, the winner is dogs if you're keeping tabs. Who's got an ear for everything? A mouse scurries inside a hole in the wall. A human may not have heard a sound, but a passing cat probably did. Humans can hear sounds up to 20,000 hertz, a measurement of how high or low pitched a sound is. Dogs can hear twice that, but cats' hearing is king. They can pick up an ear-splitting 60,000 hertz. That means cats hear many sounds that humans and even dogs would never notice. So, if we're talking about hearing, the winner is cats. And for our pet words, It says a hertz is a unit of measurement for sound. Next category, diet. Who serves up supper? House cats are deadly hunters. Sometimes cat owners will open their front door and find a surprise, a dead animal. Cats often bring home gifts to their owners, like birds, lizards, or mice that they've killed. You might have preferred a pizza, but your cat is just following its instincts. Dogs might bring home the newspaper, but cats bring home dinner fit for a feline. So the winner in the diet category is cats. And for our pet words, instinct is a behavior that animals are born knowing how to do. Who's a pickier eater? Dogs and cats usually eat pet food that's specifically made for them. In the wild, cats are carnivores. They eat only meat. Cats need 5 times more protein than do dogs. Dogs are carnivores too, but pooches aren't as picky. In the wild, dogs and wolves sometimes snack on plant matter like grass and fruit. So in the picky eating category, the winner is cats. And for our pet words, a carnivore is an animal that eats other animals. And a protein is a nutrient in meat that is an important part of all living things. And of course, I think we figured out these are jokes. What do cats eat for breakfast? And the answer is Mice Krispies. Next category is communication. Who has a tattletale? Both cats and dogs show how they're feeling with their tails. When cats hold their tails straight up, they're happy to see you. A twitchy tail means a cat is ready to pounce. Cats sweep their tails from side to side when they're feeling excited or aggressive. Happy dogs wag their tails from side to side or round and round like a propeller. When dogs are scared, they tuck their tail between their legs. If dogs are unsure about something, they keep their tails low and wag them close to their bodies. Dogs hold their tails still and upright when they sense danger. This means trouble might be coming. So who is the best at telling more tales with their tails? Dogs have more ways of using their tails to communicate than cats. So the winner in this case is definitely dogs. And in the weird but true category, it says, a frightened dog tucks its ears down and hunches its back to appear smaller. And for our joke, why can't a leopard hide? Because it's always spotted. Okay, get it? Leopards have spots? Okay, moving on. In this next category, it says it's still communication, but who's the chattiest? Dogs and cats don't use words, but they have a wide range of sounds to tell how they're feeling. Consult this cat dictionary to see what your cat is trying to tell you. So, for our cat dictionary, it says purr. This sound signals kitty happiness. It means a cat is feeling comfortable and safe. Meow. Cats have different meows that say many things. Each sound can have a different meaning, like feed me, pet me, or hey there. Yowl. Some cats make a long wailing sound to get the attention of their owners or other cats. Hiss. This is the sound cats make when they're trying to defend themselves. They raise their upper lips to show their teeth and blow out a jet of air. Growl. This low sound made in the back of the cat's throat means stay away. Dogs have a wide range of sounds to say what's on their minds. Don't speak, dog? This dog dictionary can help you. Dogs are related to animals that live in packs. Communication is an important part of pack life. Dogs need to use these sounds frequently to chat with other pooches or their owners. So in the weird but true fact, it says wolves howl to communicate with pack members or to give warnings to rival packs. And for our pet words, it says a pack is a group of canines that lives and hunts together. So let's look at our dog dictionary. A whine. Puppies give this high-pitched distress call if they're alone or hungry. It tells mom to come help. Adult dogs whine to express pain or fear. Yip. Dogs make this sound when feeling playful or when they want attention. Bark. Dogs bark when they're bored, excited, or trying to find other dogs. They also use this sound to warn of strangers approaching. Howl. Dogs howl when they are lonely or to make contact with family members. And finally, growl. When dogs make this sound with their ears held back, they're usually upset, tense, or angry. So the winner in the communication category is dogs. So I've been keeping a list of cats versus dogs. So first of all, for cats, I wrote down that they had very good hearing. For example, they can hear mice in the walls. They can communicate with their tail. They can kill their own food. And they can only eat meat. And there's a few more things too, but I'm just going to start there. Now for dogs, I've been writing down some of these facts. It says dogs have a strong sense of smell, 2 times as many scent cells as cats. So they can sniff out all kinds of things like molds, insects, drugs, and even cancer. So that's pretty handy. They can communicate many ways with their tail. And then also they can eat lots of different foods. Like they don't just need meat. They're not very picky. They can have scraps. So anyway, and they can eat grass and fruit and just about anything. So that's the list I've been keeping so far. I wonder what kind of list you've been keeping. We're going to go ahead and stop in our books, and we'll pick up where we left off tomorrow. So hold on to your cats versus dogs list because we've got a lot to add to that list. So we're going to just stop for today with our opinion packet information, and we're going to move on to our grammar lesson. We're going to turn in our packet to Grammar 4.2.1, the sheet that says telling how many at the top. And we're going to go ahead and learn a little bit more about adjectives. Telling how many. An adjective is a word that tells more about a person, animal, place, or thing. Numbers are special adjectives that tell how many. Oh my goodness, I've known about numbers my whole life, and I didn't know numbers were adjectives. Did you? Oh, wow. So, in this sentence, it says the farm has 6 cows. How many cows? 6 cows. So that means 6 is an adjective. So, because 6 tells us how many. So, same thing here with the chickens one. I saw 9 chickens. So, 9 describes how many chickens there are. So, let's go ahead and move on to our next worksheet. Let's see. So again, this is for our grammar worksheet. It says, identify the adjective that tells how many and name the noun it describes. Well, this is kind of fun. So in this case, it says the chickens laid 10 eggs. So 10 tells us how many eggs. So eggs is the noun, and 10 is the adjective for how many. The next one says 3 pigs played in the mud. So in this case, 3 tells us how many, and pigs is the noun. So moving on. So eggs was the noun here, pigs was the noun here, 10 describes how many, 3 describes how many. So goats jumped on the 2 bales of hay. So 2 describes how many, bales is the noun. So we're going to keep going. 8 sheep grazed in the field. Sheep is the noun, 8 is how many. So 8 is the adjective. And then finally, there were 5 cats in the barn. Cats is the noun. 5 tells us how many cats. So 5 is the adjective. Hope that's clear. Let's take a look at our worksheet. So here's a sneak peek at our grammar worksheet. And it says a lot of what our slide said. An adjective is a word that describes a noun. Numbers are special adjectives that tell how many. So in the examples they give us, it says Jane painted 1 cat. Gary has $15. So cat is the noun and dollars is the noun. And these are the adjectives that describe those nouns. So now let's see what the instructions say, because if we don't read the instructions, we might do it wrong. So it says draw a line under each adjective. So we draw a line under each adjective that tells how many, and then we write the noun it describes. So in this case, it says Sid carried 2 bags. So I'm going to underline the word 2 because that's the adjective. And then it says write the noun. So I'm going to write the noun bags. That's pretty clear, right? So you guys can go ahead and do your remaining 4 questions. And Mrs. Fitzpatrick will be so proud of me for showing you how to do your grammar. Oh my gosh, we're at the most exciting part of the lesson. I get to do math. This is so neat. Everybody can turn to the Lesson 12 problem set in your packet. And we're going to go ahead and do the whole problem set. And then you guys get to show what you learned with the homework. So go ahead and open your books. And we'll go ahead and do this together. Woohoo! Okay, so we've got the Lesson 12 problem set out. We won't get to brainstorm a silly name, so we'll just go ahead and put my name. There we go. Barbara Kraft. That's right. Barbara Kraft, and today's date is the 22nd of March. The year 2021. Now the first question says, solve using the arrowway, a number bond, or a tape diagram. I'm going to add, or you can do the vertical problem set. They also call that the standard algorithm. You can use that too. That's okay. So anyway, so we'll start out with the question. It says, Jeremy had 80 cents. How much more money does he need to have $1? Well, we can go ahead and start doing a picture if we want. We can do one of those tape diagrams. So we could do the dollar, for instance, which is 100 cents. And then we could write down the money that Jeremy has. So for instance, this part is the Jeremy's money, and he has 80 cents. So what we want to know is how much does he need to have that dollar? So we'll go ahead and do this 2 ways. So remember, if you're writing in your book, you don't need to do it both ways. So The first way we're going to do it is we're going to do the arrows method. So I'm going to go ahead and start out with the 80 cents that Jeremy has, and then we're just going to work our way to 100 cents. So 80, and then what is it? 80 plus. We could just start it out in tens if we want and just work our way there. So 80 plus 10, that gets us to 90. And then 90 plus 10, like that I'm using a different color. Isn't that cool? So 90 plus 10 is 100. So 10 plus 10 is 20. So that means the mystery amount that Jeremy needs is 10 plus 10 is 20 cents. That's pretty cool. So another way that we can do it, and it's always good to circle your answers, because we have a lot of stuff going on here, and sometimes Mrs. Fitzpatrick tells me it's so hard to find the answers because there's so many numbers, it's hard to know where to look. She's not asking that we go like this, hey, ta-da, it's over here. But it is good to know where the answer is, to know where to look. So anyway, another way to do it is we want to know how much more money Jeremy needs to get to the whole 100. So what we might do is we might just take 100, subtract what Jeremy has, which is 80 cents, and we'll just do it the standard vertical problem set. So let's go ahead. First we have to borrow from the hundreds column because we don't have anything to take. We can definitely take away 0 from 0. That's 0. But we've got to borrow from the hundreds to get that 10. So 10 minus 8 is 2. And oh my gosh, we got 20 cents there too. So the answer is definitely 20 cents on that one. Now our next problem says Abby bought a banana for 35 cents. She gave the cashier $1. How much change did she receive? So one way that we can show this, we can do another one of these tape diagrams, and this is the whole dollar, once again, which is 100 cents. And Abby, when buying her banana, look, I'm putting a banana in the tape diagram. This part of it was 35 cents. And then, so we want to know what she has left over, or what the change was. We can call it leftover. We can call it the change, but that's our big question mark. So we know that 35 cents of it was taken to pay for the banana. So one way that we can do it is we can, once again, do our arrows method and work our way to $1. So 35 plus 5 is 40 cents. And then 40 plus, I'm just going to go ahead and make the whole leap. 40 plus 60, because we know 4 and 6 is 10, so that's 100. So 40 plus 60 is 100. So what we do is we look at these two numbers, 60 and 5, and that is 65 cents. And that's our answer, so I'm going to circle it. So how much change did she receive? 65 cents. Another way that we could have done it was we definitely could have just done the standard algorithm, the vertical problem set, 100 minus 35. Now we've got to do a little bit more borrowing to make this happen. So we go ahead and borrow from the hundreds, give it to the tens, but then now we have to borrow from the tens to give to the ones. So 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 3 is 6. And of course, we turned the 1 into 0. So there's nothing from nothing is nothing. And there we go, 65 cents. So of course our answers are in agreement. If you ever want to get a perfect score on a test, just do the problem twice. And if you get the same answer, oh my gosh, I bet you'll do great on the test. So next one, Joseph spent 75 cents of his dollar at the arcade. Wow, sounds like a video game lover there. 75 cents is a lot to spend at the arcade. So how much money does he have left? So we can, I guess we could look at it a couple ways. We could even do a drawing. we could go ahead and show $1. We could show his four quarters. And then we could see that he went ahead and spent 25, and 25 is 50, and 75. And then we would see that he has one 25-cent quarter left over. That's one way to see it. Another way to look at it is to see the whole, do a tape diagram and see his 100 cents and know that 75 cents of it were spent. And then we want to know what's left over. That's one way to do it. So we could start out at 75 and then add 5 to get 80. And then add another 20 cents to get to 100. Well, 5 and 20 is 25 cents. And then, of course, we can also use the standard vertical problem set where we do 100 minus 75. And what we're going to have left over is the money that he hasn't spent yet on video games. So again, we take away the 1 so that we can get 10 tens, or get tens in the tens column. And then, of course, we have to borrow from the tens to get 10 in the ones column. So 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 7 is 2. 0 minus 0 is nothing. And that gives us 25 cents as well. So there's a few different ways that you could have done those problems. A few different ways to look at it. So let's go ahead and pause and let you finish this page. Okay, let's go to page 2 of the Lesson 12 problem set. This one has the notepad Elise wants cost $1. She has 4 dimes and 3 nickels. So let's go ahead and draw the amount of money she has. So she's got 10, 10, and 10, and then she's got 3 nickels. 5, 5, and 5. So it says how much more money does she need to buy the notepad? And the notepad costs $1. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and just draw the diagram, as she's going to need 100 cents to get that. We need to find out how much money Elise actually has. So it says 10, 10, 10, and 10. So let's practice counting our tens. 10, 20, 30, 40. So that first part is 40 cents. Now, do you remember when I said when we're counting coins, we need to look for 10. So here's another 10. If we do that, then we'll have 50 cents. And then there's 5 left over, so 50 plus 5 is 55 cents. So that means that Elise has 55 cents. So let's go ahead and write that down. So I probably shouldn't have divided it that way, but so this will be, over here will be the money that Elise needs. So Elise needs this money, and this is what Elise has, which is 55 cents. So a couple ways. So what we could do is we could do the arrows method. We could take Elise's 55 cents and work our way up to 100 so that she could get that notepad. So let's go ahead and try that. So 55 plus 5 is 60. And then 60, I know what'll get us from 60 to 100. So you could just do it by tens if you want, but I know, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to say 60 plus 40. And that equals 100. So 5 and 40, that's 45 cents. So that means Elise needs 45 cents. Hopefully that's clear. Another way that we could have done it, of course, is taking 100 cents, which is how much that notepad costs, subtracting the money that Elise has, which is 55 cents, and then, of course, borrowing from the hundreds, giving it to the tens, and then borrowing from the tens, giving it to the ones. 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 5 is 4. 0 minus 0 is nothing. So, of course, the answer is 45 cents. Now, let's move to our next problem. Dane saved 26 cents on Friday, 35 cents on Monday. How much more money will he need to save to have saved $1? There's a few ways to do this. So, what we could do, we could make a super long tape diagram. I've never done it this way, but this could be the whole 100 cents that he needs. And here, we could put, this is what he saved on Friday, this is what he saved on Monday, and this is how much he still needs to save. So Friday, he got 26 cents. Monday, he got 35 cents. And then that's the big question mark right there. So let's go ahead. First, we need to add these two together to find out really how much he has in total. So let's go ahead and add that up. 26 plus 35. Let's see, 6 and 5 is 11. 2 and 3 is 5, plus 1 is 6. That's 61 cents. So, I'm going to go ahead and do the arrows method for this one. 61 plus 9 is 70. And then 70 plus 30 is 100. Because again, he's trying to get to 100 cents. So, 30 and 9 is 39. So that means he still needs to save 39 cents. I hope that's clear. And notice how I definitely put the cents on there, and I definitely circled my answer. Because Mrs. Fitzpatrick, when she grades it, is going to see a lot of things. You know, she could think your answer is 61 cents. She could think your answer is 100. Well, hopefully she wouldn't, but my goodness, if you circle it, again, she's not asking you to make a big deal like this. She just wants you to circle your answer. And guess what? Third grade will, too. Oh, indeed. So, Daniel has exactly $1 and change. We're on the last problem of our lesson. So, Daniel has exactly $1 and change. He lost 6 dimes and 3 pennies. Poor Daniel. So, what coins might he have left? So we know he had $1. Here we go. So let's go ahead. We're going to say that we're going to have a big tape that says Daniel's dollar. That makes sense, right? So he lost 6 dimes and 3 pennies. So if we go ahead, most of you guys can probably figure this out in your mind, but I'm going to go ahead and just draw you a picture. So 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 6 dimes and 3 pennies. 1, 2, 3. So let's figure out how much he lost. We're going to practice counting our tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 61, 62, 63 cents. So that's how much Daniel lost. Poor Daniel. So we want to know what he's got left. So over here, we're going to put 63 cents is what Daniel lost. And this is what we want to know. So again, there's a few ways we can do this. We can take 100 cents and subtract 63. That's one way we can do it. Another way we can do it is we can take 63 cents and we can just start doing our arrows method. 63 plus 7 is 70. 70 plus 30 is 100. So 30 plus 7 equals 37 cents. And I'm going to circle it. So, would we have gotten the same thing here? Maybe so. Let's check. So, always good to do the problem twice, right? So, let's see. First, we zero that out, borrow to give to the tens, and then, of course, we need to borrow from the tens to give to the ones. 10 minus 3 is 7. 9 minus 6 is 3. 0 minus 0 is 0. And, of course, we got the answer 37 cents there as well. So, what coins might he have left? Now, if we really wanted to be nitpicky, we could say, well, he might have, to get 37 cents, he could have a quarter, a nickel, 2 nickels, and 2 pennies. That could be your answer. That might be the coins he has left to get to 37 cents. But you know what? I think if you just write 37 cents, that's a great answer for that question. So, just a preview of the homework. It's going to be more questions like this. You know, it says solve using the arrow way, a number bond, or a tape diagram. You know, obviously, if you want to keep doing that vertical problem set, that's fine with me. If you want to show a tape diagram, please do that. It might help you mentally see what they're asking you for. So, go ahead, do this one page for the homework, and hopefully you have a great Monday. And I'll see you tomorrow.